What's up, Pursuit Nation? It's your president, KSG59 Gaming, and we are back on YouTube. Alright. So, we're going to be starting. I'm going to start doing YouTube again. I've wanted to for a while. And we're back with more Pokemon Draft League content for time to come. So, first league I'm going to cover is this season 11 of the MLP, which is the league that I own and commission on Showdown. I'm very well known for it, and a lot of people around the community know of the league and know it's decently competitive. So hopefully we're expecting a fun season. We've crafted a really good roster, and it should be a lot of fun. So I want to spend this video talking about my team in particular. So I have all the drafts here for download, and I had the seventh pick. So I knew around that range I was gonna be able to get something like Gallade or Maw, and then Kyle took Gallade right before me. So I just went with Mega Maw. While this thing is an incredible wall breaker. It's slow, but it could be bulky with the right build. It's very strong. It's got a decent amount of coverage. It could run stealth rocks as an option. It's a good knockoff user. There's a lot that it can accomplish, and if supported correctly, it could be a legitimate threat. So I wanted to pair it with something like Victina or Garchomp because that's just pretty standard. I've had Maw Garchomp in the past and I was really successful with it, but I wasn't able to get it. Zero took it round two, I believe. These are all this isn't in round order. Ether needed to reorganize them. I couldn't tell you why, but he did. The array of colors looks cool at least, but that's about it. Um, so by the time it got back to me, Mike took Victini round one. I was pretty angry about that. So yeah, Victini was gone, Garchomp was gone, stuff like Mew was gone, Latios was gone. So I was honestly scraping at the barrel and just said, fuck it, let's get a defensive backbone in Slowbro. So yeah, Slowbro was in my fourth slot, but I ended up picking it up in round two. This thing is busted this gen, I tell you. Teleport is probably one of the best things it could have gotten transitioning into this gen. Regenerator, obviously, very busted ability. And its move pool really bloomed outside of teleport in this gen as well. It got a bunch of stuff like body press, hydro pump, foul play, all that fun stuff. There's a bunch of coverage it can run. It's got uh, it's got decent offensive stats. You don't really need to invest in them to be able to do damage, but I like what it's able to do and what it does for Maw as well. It can switch into the fires that threaten it out. It checks. It kind of soft checks ground. It doesn't exactly resist, but like most physical offensive grounds that don't have like stab coverage for it, it can handle most of the time. Like I guess your Mamoswines and stuff, it can handle. So yeah, that was basically my theory behind the Slowbro pick. Maw is also a fairy that doesn't resist fighting, so I also wanted to grab a really good fighting resist early. And Maw is something that also can switch into knockoffs that it doesn't like. If I end up wanting to play aggressive with Mega Maw, I've done well playing with aggressive Maw in the past, but um yeah, it is what it is. So now that I got those two, I'm pretty sure my round three was Komoa. I wanted to round out that core. It gives me another dark resist for Slowbro. The Komodo has an ice weakness that these two cover. This gives me another rocker. It gives me a lot. The Komodo gives me a lot of offensive versatility and pretty much a potential win con every single week. So I really like what the Komodo has to offer on my team. Clangorous Soul is allowed, by the way, so that's always an option. Regular DD is always an option. Autotomize, you name it. Tons of coverage, can hit pretty much whatever it needs to. Defensive is also solid. It's a decent taunt user, and 85 speed is it's pretty good for taunt. Obviously, there are better speed tiers for it, but taunt can help. That 85 is like a good speed tier for taunt because it allows you to outspeed most mons that pretty much suffer against taunt. So I really like that option. And as I said before, it's also a decent rocker. So I have two rockers already. They're not exactly reliable that I want to run rocks on every week, but they're there. So I'll get to my more bona fide rockers later on. So the next thing, I got a little story first. I was in the MLP Mod Squad chat. Shout out to Saint, by the way. He helped me with a lot of these picks, and he knows I'm not a very strong drafter, and the draft itself is basically my key to any success in draft league. So I really appreciate his help, and I like our outcome. So he helped me with this next pick, and it really pairs with the Komodo well. It's the Blacephalon. This thing is an insane special wall breaker. It can deal with all the different the different psychics that'll bother Komodo. Komodo can deal with all the different darks and rocks and all the other garbage that Blacephalon can't doesn't exactly like to deal with. So there's that. One thing I do want to mention about Blacephalon is it has an actual physical move pool now. It had a 127 attack stat for quite literally no reason, but now it has. I thought I got Flare Blitz. Where was it? I believe it's on the DLC. Tutor's Egg Move. I'm pretty sure it got new shit wherever it is. Okay, maybe it was on the other one. Okay, I don't know what it was, but I know Blacephalon got physical moves in the DLC, so that's always an option. But basically, its stab combination on the special side is just relatively just spammable once you get it in the right position. Obviously, it's a weakness to rocks, and running boots could damage its power output, but I don't think it'll be that much of an issue. It has good speed. It can be dealt with by other scarfers, but it can also be scarfed. So if I'm planning to win a game with Scarfable Cephalon, I'll definitely need to bring removal. But overall, great top four so far. So yeah, speaking of removal, the next three picks deal with that and other weakness coverage. So next, I believe I got Crobat next. So yeah, obviously Bat's Defogger helps me even further with my speed tiers so that I go from 130 to I'm going to go from Crobat. You see the superior here, which I'll talk about in a second, and then Blacephalon. Having the superior there is really good for my speed tiers. Crobat is a mon that I've always loved using, and I will continue to love using. It's there's a lot that it can do. It's a good defogger. It's not a grounded poison, but it's with boots it's definitely a really reliable defogger. So I like it a lot more in that sense than to prior gens when it didn't have boots and it had to defog away rocks damage, but it's all cool. I don't mind it that much. Um, Brave Bird obviously hits things very hard. It doesn't exactly have a reliable poison stab on the physical side unless you count cross poison, which is just whatever. You're going to be spamming Brave Bird or U-turn most of the time. Or you're going to be clicking Super Fang, which is a really good move for Crobat to just whittle down steals that don't exactly have recovery like you would like to click Super Fang on stuff like Bronzong, Registeel, um, even Celesteela doesn't like taking Super Fangs. Just like stuff that would switch into Crobat in general don't like taking Super Fangs, so it's pretty good. Like the one hard counter to Crobat, honestly, is like Aegislash, and even then, Nasty Bat Heat Wave. Oh yeah, speaking of Nasty Bat, it gets Hurricane now, so I really hope I get to run that set a lot more because with a high base power stab in Hurricane, it can be super threatening, especially with that speed tier. So, and in terms of what the Crobat helps with, it gives me my first ground immunity, which is good for Maw. It it switches into grasses that Slowbro are threatened out by. It's another rock weakness, but that ties with Kamoa well. It's another fairy resist. It's a better fairy resist than the other two. I mean, like my fairy resist overall aren't that bulky, but they can still take the hits, no problem. Uh, the Maw can switch into like fatter stuff. The Crobat is more so into like pivot fairies that it can deal with. And then Blacephalon doesn't exactly qualify as a switch. And look at these defenses. Yeah, I'm not switching into shit. So yeah, the Crobat's helpful. And then I got the Superior. Like I said, it's very good for the speed tier. I am an absolute dick when playing Pokemon, so I love Glare Spam. um, Again, decent defogger, takes the weight off Crobat's shoulders, gets knockoff. Obviously, contrary Leaf Storm can become spammable in the right circumstances. And there's a lot of typings that it would struggle with now without the use of hidden power, but I have a ton of stuff for steals. I have the Komodo that can help. I have Donphan. I have Slowbro. I have a bunch of stuff for steals. For flyings, I'm a little bit weaker too. I mean, I have Mega Maw, which can intimidate on them the first time in. I have Stunfisk, which is solid. That can help a lot of the time. And then bulky poisons, I have Maw that can switch into some of them. Donphan that can uh, come in on uh, either like T spikes being set or something like that. And then it can start EQing things. Crobat can obviously come in. Stunfisk can obviously come in. Like I really like the double ground on this team because I think it really brings it together. It leaves me a tad ice weak, but overall I think I'll be able to play around most ice type mons that come my way. So I like the Cert pick here. Subseed is also very obnoxious. And oh, with other grasses, obviously Crobat is a huge help there. Well, Cephalon doesn't necessarily switch in, but it can help break them. Maw can come in on the right things and then start doing Mawile things. So cool pickup there. And then now we get into the Donphan pick. The Donphan is super important to my team. It gives me a spinner, which basically covers my removal at this point. Like if I'm clicking, like these two are pretty reliable defoggers. And then, but if I don't have the space for rapid spin on Donphan, I can free up like another slot for like coverage or something, which is also really nice. Donphan, another knockoff user. I have really solid knockoff users on this team. I have the Maw, I have the Serp, the Donphan, the Persian. Well, those are the only four, but they all run knockoff quite a bit on their sets, so I expect to be using it quite a bit. This is my reliable rocker, my most reliable rocker on my team. I feel very confident running rocks on Donphan most of the time. It gets a plethora of coverage, which is one of the things I really like about Donphan. It could basically hit whatever it needs to. It has priority ice shard, which is really nice. Is phasing and roar. Yeah, another mon that just provides a lot of a couple different things my team really needs. So that's always helpful. And another mon that's a really good defensive backbone to my team is P2. So when at the time I had those first seven, I was like, damn, I get 7-0'd by Kiram. And yeah, Kiram is still very annoying for my team. So I have P2 that can help with that. Other mons can work around it, but otherwise P2 can soak up whatever it needs. It's a very diverse defensive mon that I can end up using in this team. I love this nickname, Trace sucks, lol. Go download. Obviously it's in a Violet user. I like pairing it with the Mega Maw because the Mega Maw can come in on knockoffs that I anticipate coming my way. The Komodo can as well, and certain, depending on the set, of course. Like if there's like Throat Spray, I'm not gonna switch into a knockoff because obviously that's gonna be my win con or something. But again, P2, very obnoxious mon. Trace is a great ability. Um, it gets Bolt Beam coverage. It has Shadow Ball for those ghosts, T-Wave, Toxic. It does get Teleport, which I think it'll have trouble finding that move slot a lot of the time, but it's super useful when it does. It's a potential Trick Room user. Um, for Mega Maw, I have two good Trick Room users for it. I have P2 and I have Slowbro, so I like what I have going for it. And they both have teleport, so that guarantees me 3 Trick Room turns with Maul whenever I use each of them, which is fantastic. Absolutely love that. So, the next Mon I have, I didn't get Persian next. I know I got, no, I did get Persian next. That's right. So yeah, Persian, another Mon that helps me out with bulkier psychics a lot because I saw like outside of Maw, I don't want nothing really wants to deal with psychics. This definitely can. It has another good speed tier that I forgot to mention before. It'll go Crobat, Persian, Serp, which even better. It really helps out. That this thing is super fast. Gets foul play. It gets priority fake out. Uh, and yeah, stab knockoff. Uh, Taunt, switcheroo if I was Scarf, U-turn if I was facing any soundproof users. But yeah, parting shot, obviously very useful move. Very useful move for my team. I could drop stuff in like Maw. I can drop in a lot of my threats with it. There's a lot of stuff on this team that benefits from the parting shot, so I really like that I have it on this team. So then my last 3 picks, I don't know how much I'm gonna end up bringing them, so the Stunfisk is nice. It gives me an electric type. It helps me out with like fatter electrics like Zapdos. It's another potential rocker in case I'm bringing it and Donphan both in the same game. It has Pain Split as its form of recovery. I love Pain Split. Electric Ground is a pretty good dual coverage. It also has Surf if I needed that for anything. I don't think I ever will, but I actually didn't know it got Surf until then, so that's cool. Not much else that Stunfisk really offers other than the electric typing. The static ability is obviously very obnoxious, and it's useful for forcing your opponent to not contact move you unless they want to be paralyzed, which I don't know who would be, but I love the static ability. The paras can be helpful for stuff on my team for outspeeding. Um, yeah, overall solid pick. And the last two, I have Glaceon here just really for another ice resist. It's a decent wish passer. Um, I mean, it's only 65 base HP, but they say Gardevoir is a decent wish passer, which that also has 65. Let me fact check myself right now, because I know I'm right, but just want to double check. 60, okay, same thing, whatever, I was still right. But yeah, it can still provide wish support. It's technically a cleric. I don't know how much I'll end up bringing it. But it also got freeze dry this gen, so very good. It can help deal with other waters, which is good. It gets like pretty much just all ice coverage. It doesn't really get much else. Um, it doesn't get much else outside of just the ice typing and the potential of being a cleric on it. Gets baton passed for momentum, but that's about it. And the last pick, I had 2 points left over, so I got the Octillery. This thing is fire, okay? Do you see how much coverage it has? It has 105 in both, which is still very usable, and I figured I could actually fit Octillery in a game or two just because I have the two really good Trick Room setters. Just like with the 45 speed, I can underspeed quite a bit, and I could just spam moves and punch holes and whatever I need to. Like I just slap a life orb on this thing and it can click whatever it needs to. Like on the physical side, it has liquidation for stab, which is solid. Has seed bomb for other waters. It has gunk shot for well, I guess Tapu Fini, but I was trying to say grasses. It doesn't get physical ice stab for like bulky dragons and stuff. So like in that sense, I'd probably be special. Which it has ice beam in that regard. It also has special coverage and energy ball, flamethrower, flash cannon. Yeah. And even water spout. I completely ignored the fact that I had water spout. Like I can drop this thing in under Trick Room and run Quiet Specs Water Spout if I don't see no water resists. That could be pretty deadly. So I really like having that option as well. So that's the team. I'm very excited to use it. There's a lot of threatening pieces that I think I can do really well with and go far with. So hope you guys like the team. Comment down below what you think of the team. So that's gonna be it for this episode. I'll talk to you guys next time in our week 1 match, which I actually already played, but I'm not gonna spoil anything. All right, later, dudes.